You're listening to The Head Trash Show with me, Alexia Leachman, author of Clear Your Head Trash. Head Trash is the home to the head trash clearance method, which you can use to get rid of the fears, stresses and anxieties in your life. Every week I'll be sharing insights, stories and interviews to inspire you to clear your head trash so that you can find calmness, confidence and clarity in your life and work. To find out more about clearing head trash and creating a headspace, head over to clearyourheadtrash.com. And now for today's show. Hello and welcome to The Head Trash Show. This is your host Alexia Leachman. Thank you so much for joining me today. So yes, I'm back. The Head Trash Show is back after a very, very long break. So what's happened? Where have I been? What's going on? These are all the kind of questions I want to answer for you during this episode. Because I have got a lot to update you on. Things have changed and new exciting things are afoot. So if you're interested in clearing your head trash and being a better version of yourself, then listen up because I want to share all this with you. So I'm going to start off by just explaining my absence. Now, the last time I was doing this show, I was juggling a new baby and I had also started another podcast. Now, I just want to give a little bit of a background context to that because it is quite important part of what I've been doing, but also it really does contribute a lot to the work that I do today still. So when I was pregnant, originally, like when I had my first baby, she's now 9, so that's how long ago this was, I had massive level of fear around birth and pregnancy. Now, I didn't realise at the time that when you have extreme fears of birth and pregnancy, that's called tocophobia. Now, I didn't know that was a thing back then. I just thought I was a stressy, head trashy, anxious mess of a person. And so when I was experiencing all those fears, I just went to the head trash method that I talk about all the time and I cleared my fears. And I got rid of them and I ended up, instead of having the C-section that I thought I wanted, I changed my birth plan to a home birth. And it was an amazing, beautiful experience. Not what I imagined at all that I thought I'd be able to do at the beginning of my pregnancy. So quite a turnaround. Now, I didn't realise at the time that was a bit of a big deal. People with tocophobia don't overcome it. In fact, if you have tocophobia, your midwife or your maternity care provider is likely to recommend that you have a C-section because there isn't anything really that can help you. So I didn't realise that I'd achieved quite a thing back then. But anyway, I kept it to myself and I carried on doing my head trash work. And baby number 2 came round and I was completely fear-free again. Well, I had new fears this time, but my old fears hadn't come back. And I had another incredible birth experience. And so on that maternity leave, I had big plans. Let me tell you, I had big plans for that maternity leave. I was going to write the head trash book because I've been wanting to write a book on the head trash clearance method for years. I knew there was a book in me that I really wanted to write. And I thought, I'm going to do this on my maternity leave. It's perfect. So I started writing the head trash book on my maternity leave. But I started getting emails from women who I didn't even know saying, how did you do that? How did you do that again? And what they were referring to was having another great birth experience, having experienced high levels of fear. So somehow they'd known about my fear. Somehow they knew that I'd turned it around. And so I don't know how they found that out, but they were now emailing me, asking me how I did it. So these emails that I was replying to with a new baby that I was breastfeeding were taking quite some time because I had to explain the unraveling of my fear, how to unpack a boatload of fear. When you have phobia, there's a lot of fears packed right into that. So I had to kind of explain how I unpacked that and what I found. And then I also had to explain about the head trash clearance method. So these emails basically were not quick emails. And I remember thinking at one point, if I get another one of these damn emails, I'm going to write a book. And I got another one of the damn emails, didn't I? And I was like, oh, crap, I'm going to have to write a book. Now, I'd started a book already, so I thought, well, maybe I should just turn this head trash book into a head trash for pregnancy book. And when I made that decision, the book kind of wrote itself. So I had a new baby, and within 2-3 months, I had a 90,000 word draft. And then I remember thinking, Lex, what have you done? You're a business and mindset coach, and you've just written a book on pregnancy and birth. And so that's why I decided to launch my Fear-Free Childbirth podcast, to share some of that information before the book was ready to publish. Because, it's all very good having a draft, but having a book that's ready to publish, there's a whole more work required right there to get it ready. And it just wasn't ready. I was still juggling with a new baby who was now 4 months old. So this is where I decided to launch a podcast. And I thought, well, you know what, I'll just do this little maternity podcast on the side, but I'm still going to do the head trash stuff, which is why I came back with a few episodes on the head trash show. But the birth stuff just went crazy. I got lots of downloads, and I realised then that actually a lot of women have got fear around birth. And so that's when I made the very difficult decision to park doing the head trash work and to focus entirely on my fear-free childbirth work. And so that is what I've been doing for the last 5 years, is supporting women in helping them to get rid of their fears around birth. So not just pregnant women, but women who are planning pregnancy, because when you have tocophobia, you can't even face pregnancy. You can't even have intimate relations with your partner in many instances. So this has been a huge part of my work recently, but I've always wanted to come back to the head trash aspect of the work that I do, because I love it. I've learned so much about fear and the nature of fear and how it interplays with confidence in the work that I've been doing with women over the past 5 years. And so that has really helped me to much better understand head trash. And I really want to bring that back now, full circle, into how that plays out in our lives, into how fear plays out in our lives, and how we can really overcome this level of head trash, overcome anxiety. How do we deal with building a level of confidence in ourselves, but when we're overrun with this head trash that's going on? And so the work that I've done has really given me a lot of insight into that, and I want to bring that back and share that with people that aren't just pregnant, because this stuff applies to everybody. And what I discovered through my work in pregnancy and birth is a lot of the stuff that women who are facing fears around birth, those fears aren't necessarily birth related. They're very human fears. They're fears around losing control, around feeling trapped and losing freedom and identity, and they're around vulnerability. And these are fears that we all experience as human beings. They're not just pregnancy fears. And so this is why I am now back doing the head trash show. So a little bit of a background. I'm sorry if I waffled on a little bit there, but I think it's relevant because I am still very much interested in mental health, maternal mental health, paternal mental health, and also the impact that that has on our children, on being parents, but also obviously the wider scope in terms of our lives and the work that we do. So I'll be diving into all of those aspects of head trash, because they are all very much part of who I am now and very much part of the lives of the people that I work with. You know, I work with business owners on their head trash. I work with mothers who are business owners on the intersection of their head trash and their work. I still work with a lot of the women that have these fears around birth and pregnancy. So the motherhood journey, the mindset aspect of business, the mindset aspect of being a parent, all of this is part of what I do today. And so that is what I'm going to be talking about. Those are the areas that I'm interested in, that I want to find some experts that know more about this than I do, so we can have a good old chinwag and bring some of that insight to you so that you can have a life that's free of head trash, if at all possible. So that's what you can expect from the head trash show. Now, the other thing that I want to share with you is that I've had lots and lots of emails from people going, where is the free head trash method that you were giving away on your website? Well, the website's changed. There's lots of things that have changed. So we have now got a new website, which is clearyourheadtrash.com. And so all head trash related loveliness is now going to be at that new website. And the one thing that you now will no longer be able to get is a free download of the head trash clearance method. And the reason for that is because I was getting overrun with emails from people with loads and loads of questions as to how, you know, just asking me lots of things around the method. Why am I doing this? What's going on here? Am I doing it right? Basically just lots of questions. And so I really felt that I needed to pull that back, because actually it deserves a better explanation than what I can offer in something free that I offer on the website. Because like when you give things away on your website, you want to keep them easy to read, quick to read. And so, you know, for people downloading the method, it was a 1-2 page document. But actually, the questions I was getting from people were asking things about, well, why am I doing this? What does that mean? And so I can't explain all that in something that I'm giving away on the website. So this is why, if now you want to get hold of the head trash clearance method, the best thing for you to do is to get the book, Clear Your Head Trash. So having written the book, Fearless Birthing, which was basically head trash for pregnancy, I've now just sort of isolated just the head trash clearance method and explained it so that you can understand what the method is all about, use it, have in-depth instructions so that you don't have the questions, so that you can basically crack on having read the book. It's a thin book, so you can read it in a weekend and you can literally just dive in and get going. So now if you want to get hold of the head trash clearance method, you need to get hold of the book. It's on Amazon and all good online retailers, and it's called Clear Your Head Trash. So yes, you can't get the freebie anymore, but that is how you get hold of the head trash clearance method. So I hope that you understand. What I really wanted to make sure was when people were using this method, that they understood it and they got great results. And I think I was not doing the method any good, any service, and not doing you any service by just trying to keep it so light and short. I think it deserved more attention, more focus, and if you want to get the results with it, then you deserve more explanation so that you can kind of understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. So I hope that makes sense to you, and that you're so go and check it out on Amazon. It's now on Amazon and you can go and get hold of it straight away. So in terms of what else has been going on here at Head Trash, as I've mentioned, some of the work that I'm doing when I work privately with people is I'm working with business owners around their mindset, also people who are struggling with mindset around, have a head trash around their marketing, but also mothers in business and business owners. So that's the work that I do when I work individually with people. But I've also been doing lots of group work, and this is really exciting. And I think this is where we can have a lot of fun. And so I'm really interested to know what kind of support that you're looking for, because I run a lot of group work with my pregnancy clients where we have a group of ladies with tocophobia and we're all clearing tocophobia head trash together. And there's a lot of value of doing head trash clearance as part of a community, as part of a group. And I really want to do that in a broader sense with head trash. And so I'm toying with ideas around doing head trash clearance for people who want to give up smoking, because there's a huge emotional component with smoking, but also with drinking. So we could have a Stoptober group clearance program. We could have the Dry January one where we're looking at all the emotional aspects of drinking, but also other aspects. So, for example, I work a lot with online business owners who struggle with doing live videos for their business on their brand, who struggle with sending their emails out, who struggle with putting their prices up. So all of these aspects of business owners that have in the online business space, then there's some common themes that happen there. So this is, again, ideal stuff to do as part of a group. So I'm interested to hear from you what you're struggling with, because doing head trash clearance in a group is a lot of fun. Actually, I love doing it, and the people that are doing it also get a lot out of it. And so, I'm a true believer that our head trash, yes, it affects us seriously, but it doesn't mean we have to take it seriously. We can actually have a lot of fun clearing head trash. I have a lot of fun clearing head trash with my clients, and also humour is a really powerful healer. If you can laugh at something that used to make you cry, then you've truly healed from it. And I see that so often with the people that I work with when I'm clearing their head trash, that they're able to laugh at something at the end. They're like, I can't believe this was holding me back, that this was affecting me so much. I can't believe I used to cry at this. And yeah, now they're laughing at it. They're laughing at how now it's so nothing for them. And to do that in a group really is quite magical. So I would love to hear your views on what kind of things that you're struggling with that you would love support on. Maybe it's about overcoming anxiety, because this is something that affects us all a lot in day-to-day life. And I've learned a lot about anxiety and how actually you can unpack that relatively quickly and clear it relatively quickly to get to a place in your life where you no longer have all that noise and that endless chatter in your head, and you can finally be at peace. There was a lady that came to me last summer, and she signed up for one of my big head trash clearance programs, the head trash clear out, I think I call it. And at the beginning I said to her, what is it you want out of this? And she said, I just want the noise in my head to stop. I just want peace. I just want peace. I just want it to be quiet up there. And I thought, whoa, that's ambitious, but I was really excited at the prospect of helping her with this. And yeah, in the space of 5 weeks, 6 weeks, we were able to achieve that. At the end, she's like, finally, I'm experiencing peace. Finally, I've stopped arguing with myself. Finally, I'm not constantly hearing all the objections, all the doubts shouting at me that I was having all the time. And she says I'm much more able to be present with the people I'm speaking with, my friends, my family. And so that's the impact of really taking a close look at your head trash in a short period of time and going all in with your clearance work, because this clearance method really is a game changer of a technique. I'm using those, I'm not being like all blowing my own ego here, but that is a testimonial on Amazon. Somebody's called this a game changer technique. And also there is a research study underway that I'm collaborating with the University of Nottingham on, and we're testing the head trash clearance method and its effectiveness on anxiety and depression, on reducing anxiety and depression in pregnant women. And the researcher who's now pregnant, who's using it, she describes it as a very efficient way. It's a psychotherapeutic technique, that's how she's described it, but also it's much more efficient than a lot of the other techniques that people are offered as part of their pregnancy to help them reduce anxiety. And she says it's ideal because of the time frame that there is happening within pregnancy. You know, you are on a time limit where you've got to deal with your anxiety and your fears and what's going on for you to improve the chances of your birth. You know, if you don't have a lot of that mental health stuff going on, you do have a much more positive birth experience. So time is of the essence, and this is an efficient method for clearing your head trash. So I'm going to wrap up now, because I really want to leave it there and invite you to let me know what you want guidance on. What topics would you like me to cover here on the podcast? I've already got some interviews lined up with some really interesting experts that got some really, really great stuff to share with you. I've also got some ideas and things that I want to be sharing with you around aspects of head trash that I want to unpick with you, so that you can kind of get a better understanding on aspects of yourself and think, oh, actually that's me. I'm going to look into that. I'm going to, clear some head trash around this particular aspect. So that's what you can look forward to here on the Head Trash Show. So once again, if you want to find out anything that's going on, then just come to clearyourheadtrash.com. There you will find out more information about the ways that we can work together if you want us to work together, but also you'll find details of our online courses and online programs. We have got a course for the Clear Your Head Trash method. So if you did want to follow an online program that explains everything, that's videos, you get meditations, you get examples of you can follow me doing head trash clearance, so you can find out all the details about the head trash clearance method course there too. All right then, well, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time here on the Head Trash Show. Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in. You've just been listening to me, Alexia Leachman, here on the Head Trash Show. If you enjoyed the show or the book Clear Your Head Trash, I'd really appreciate you leaving a review on iTunes or Amazon. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes for more insights, interviews and inspiration for clearing your head trash and reclaiming your headspace. Until next time, bye for now.